Hi everybody. I'm going to do this hopefully quick tutorial to show you how I like to use filling images. I know there are a lot of tutorials about filling text, but now that my printer is on the blink, I have discovered there's all kinds of ways to get the same thing done, and filling images is kind of fun. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Now these two images look exactly alike because I have filled them on my Silhouette Studio with black, and I have black line, at least on this one. This one here, I didn't change all the lines. But anyway, if I go back to this image, this is the original one that I had, and I have on my file, and I take away the black fill, yes, and leave the black line. If I sketch this, this is how it would sketch around all of the circles. Now this one here, I'm going to do the same thing with. I'm going to convert it to, now you see it's quite a bit different, and I'm going to turn all of the lines to black. Let's see, black. Well, I should have done that, but it didn't do it. I don't know why. Lines, black. You know why? Because it's not doing the outline. There it is. Okay, so it's quite a bit different. So when I show you why, I'm going to get a really good close-up, and I'm going to show you why. And you can see that. So if you were scribbling to draw in, to fill in, actually fill in all of these lines over here, this is what it would look like. If you did it by hand, you'd be scribbling away. But what I've done is use the internal offset to do that. And I'm going to show you that in a minute. This is a bit of a tedious process, but once you've done it, it's over. And you can use it again and again. Okay, what I do, and it is tedious, so trust me, I'm not going to go through the whole thing to show you everything I've done over here, but I'm going to show you how I start. So you select the image, and then you hit up here at the offset button, and you hit internal offset, and you change the value, and I do it usually by hand, to 0.010. And as soon as I hit that, you're going to see the second line, okay? So I go out of it just to be on the safe side, go back into the white space that I want it to fill in. It takes a little while. See, it's drawing this line and it's not letting me do that. There it is. Now it's letting me do it. So I've done it again. So I hit internal offset again, and I go down to 0.010, apply it again, and it adds a third line. You see how it's filling in like over here? So depending on how big your image is, it depends on how many times you have to do this. Now, once you start doing this, after a while, it breaks it down into parts. It's not doing that yet, so I'm going to try it one more time. Let's see, hit this white space, internal offset, and 0.010. Hit apply. See, it adds another fill. Okay, so now the areas that I need more fill, there's some areas that look pretty good. You probably wouldn't need to use areas like this are pretty much filled already. So now your object is to go for these funny little spaces. Okay, so I hit internal offset and 0.010 and hit apply, and it puts another box in there. Now that one's going to be just fine. It's going to fill it in really good. This area right in here probably won't. So I can go 0.010 and hit apply, and it adds another one. And you see, your object is to get all of these, and I use the same measurement. Now, after you get a little experience with this, you can actually use smaller point, like you go 0.009, then you can go 0.008. So depending on which area you're trying to fill, and then the other thing you can do is, I was doing one at a time. It takes a long time. So if I hold down my shift key, I've got, see, this one is selected, and this one will be selected, this one will be selected. So you can find the big areas that you want to fill in, and this one, and this one, and this one. And now go to internal offset, and again 0, 1, 0, and hit apply. Okay, so they're working pretty good. Now the ones that stand out to me might be this one, like could use a little bit more work. And I'm going to hold the shift key down and grab this one over here, and then this one over here. And anything like this one here is not quite filled in. So again, internal offset, 0, 1, 0. And on, you can do this until it looks pretty dark to you. And the only way to do that is to go out. You see, now it's looking pretty dark. If the image, if what your project you're working on is small, this is probably about as far as you need to go. But if the project is big, like a big item on your workspace, you would have to try to fill in the other areas. The other alternative is to just go as far as you're comfortable going. Go ahead and stick your pen in the holder, and I'll have some pictures of that. I use almost any rollerball pen, works really well. And I use if I'm using sticker paper, which is what I like to use most often, I just use the settings for white sticker paper. Stick a pen in there in the holder, and off I go. And what it will do is go round and round and round. Now the reason these things are big files is obviously there's not one dragonfly here. Let's see, I'm sure I can't count all the lines, but there's not just one dragonfly on this thing. There's as many as, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 or 6 dragonflies. So these are the areas, of course, you don't want to fill in because that would destroy your pattern. But if you're uncomfortable or you want to fill in these smaller areas, you're welcome to do that. Just keep on going. But what I'm going to do at this point is that's how I do the fill. And then because somewhere in the program it took it all apart into pieces, as you can see, as if you had done the release compound path. So what I can do is just select them all again and do a compound path, which is what I do, or group them, either one. But anyway, that's how I turn that image that would only be a double line image into a filled image. And then what I'm going to show you, 2 more things real quickly. I'm going to show you things I have done like that. Okay, my most recent project was this one, and I can't make it, maybe I can make it bigger. Yeah, these were all filled in, and I will have on my blog an actual photograph of this is from the screen print on the screen after I used that technique I just showed you. This one actually I got too dark. I should have backed off a little bit and not filled it in quite so much. But the others are looking like I either stamped them or I printed them on the printer, only they are very black, which is good. You could use different color inks, etc. So that's one. I did this one here. My scripts, this one here, turned out beautifully. Now it looks like it's you know how you would print it. But if I opened up the actual silhouette file, which is here, it's going to come in a minute, I will show you I did the very same thing. This is a filled-in script. Go even closer. See how it is? See how I filled it in with all the lines, even the dots around the edge. So I filled this in, and it really, really turned out very nicely. See these dots? These are all filled in by the fill technique and done with a pen. And then you just cut them out. This happens to be the Azura script, which I got from Hungry JPEG, which I really like. But you wouldn't know it to look at this until you got really, really close. And then you can see exactly how many times the pen is doing its work. And like I said, you could even fill in these a little bit more if you wanted by just clicking on them and doing the 0.010 or down from that, like 0.009, 0.008, 0.0076543 to even 1. It depends on how many times you want your pen to go over the line. So that shows you how that worked. Let me see. I have done a whole bunch of these, really a whole bunch. Back over here, I've done this one I just showed you. I did this also as a filled in. You can't really tell the difference because they look like they were printed. Yeah, this is the one that I just did. I've done a lot of happy birthday scripts, and then I did some for a whole, let's see, a whole font. It's not coming up here, but obviously I like to make cards, and I like these sentiments, and I want them filled in, and I really, really like doing them with a pen. They come out so much better than, let me see, let me just do a search on sketches. Yeah, because I've done a whole lot more than just that. Yeah, let's see, I've sketched whole pages of these. I had a posting on sketch, cut, and color, because sometimes I just sketch them in color. Anyway, this is, and by way, I also did these. These were sketched borders, and I did these with my pen. Let's see, this one here is a sketch border 1. So this one here, let's see, I'm going to get out of this. I like to use my other, open with Orphan View. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, this whole border I sketched with a pen, and I will put some still shots of the result. This is a screenshot of the design that was on my Silhouette Studio mat. But what I will do in my posting when I post this video is I'll also include some photographs of the results, and I think you'll find that they're pretty good. Pretty good, and I really enjoy doing it. All of these things, like I think I've covered it in a few other postings. I do a bunch of things. These I haven't done yet. Butterflies, but I've used this same technique that I just went over with you, this internal offset, to fill in designs as well as text. So let's see. Now I'm going to go over for you, why would you want to do this, okay? A lot of people might ask, what are the advantages and the disadvantages? Okay, so here's my notes on sketch fill versus printing. And this is the version of Silhouette Studio I'm in. Okay, the pros, I believe with the pens you can really get a dark image, even darker than sometimes my printer would print, which I really like. It's certainly more reliable than stamping, like rubber stamping or the stamps that we use. You don't always get it as accurate as you like, but this method you can. Pens are cheap, and they really, one pen will last a long time. I have one that I'm still using, and it's so low I can't see the ink line, but it's still sketching. Okay, you can fill the whole page, like if you're doing label pages, so there's no wasted space around the edges, so there's no registration marks that you have to put in with your printer. It obviously saves printer ink, yeah. And most recently I have been experimenting with an erasable ink pen called a Frixion. You'll see some of my other posts on that. And of course you can use the Frixion and then erase. I've been using it to go over the lines with a glue stick, and then using foil, and then heat erasing the Frixion pen. So it has that value as well. You can use metallic pens and markers, and the nice thing is you can use it on lots of material that you wouldn't be able to easily get into your printer, and as wide as 12 inches. If your Silhouette Studio or Cameo can take the material, you probably can sketch on it. I've tried most of these. The fabric works amazingly well, and I could see that would really work well if you were a a cross stitcher or a any kind of stitchery. You could use that Frixion pen up here, do your design in that, fill it with your threads and then hit the heat gun on it, and the friction lines totally disappear. Watercolor paper, tape, you think of it. And I just did one on wax paper with that dragonfly that I just showed you. So I will include some camera shots of that, as well as another video showing the Cameo drawing the veins of the dragonfly. Now, what's wrong about it, or what's difficult, or the cons? It's very slow. It'll start doing that design over and over and over again, but my Cameo just keeps on ticking, so I just make sure it's doing what it needs to do, and sometimes I leave the room and go do something else for a while. It's a little tedious to design, I just showed you, but not so bad, because you can save the design and use it again. You can make it bigger and smaller and use it many times. Now, one thing I have to warn you about, because each of those designs are multiple designs. You saw me count the different lines. Well, that's how many items are inside of that one design. So it results in big files. Instead of the file size of your cut file being in kilobytes, maybe 150 or 60 kilobytes, sometimes it's 2 megabytes. So I wouldn't do too many at one time. I wouldn't try to fill a page with these, because it might overload the cache memory of your machine, and that wouldn't be good. I have found that even after I've done several projects in a row, I may need to restart the program or even restart my computer because of cache problems. Cache, or let's see, what do they call it? Anyway, where there's a backup memory stored in the machine, or a backup memory of something stored on my computer. So refreshing it, because the file sizes are much bigger, refreshing it by restarting the program might be needed. But if you're aware of all of these, I think that some of the things on the con side might appeal to some of you who might like to try this. Anyway, this is going to be on my blog, and as I said, I will include some photos of what I've done, and another short video showing the actual pen doing the work on that dragonfly. But that's it for now. I hope this is helpful to you.